Meta is one of the world's most powerful and influential technology companies, shaping the way billions of people interact, communicate, and share information every day. Founded as Facebook in 2004 by Mark Zuckerberg and his college friends, the company has grown far beyond its origins as a social networking site for students. Today, you probably use at least one of its products. Facebook, Instagram, and WhatsApp are all part of the Meta family. These platforms have become essential tools for staying in touch with friends and family, sharing life updates, and discovering news and entertainment. Billions of people around the globe rely on these apps to connect, share, and stay informed. Whether it's chatting with loved ones across continents or joining communities with shared interests, Meta's platforms are woven into the fabric of daily life for many. But behind the scenes, Meta's main business is advertising. Companies pay Meta to show you ads that are carefully tailored to your interests, habits, and even your location. This targeted advertising is what makes Meta so profitable. To do this, Meta collects vast amounts of data about what you like, share, and view. Every click, like, and comment helps build a detailed profile of who you are and what you care about. This data is incredibly valuable. It helps businesses target their ads with pinpoint accuracy, making Meta's advertising system one of the most effective and lucrative in the world. For many companies, advertising on Meta's platforms is essential for reaching new customers. But this enormous success comes with controversy and criticism. As Meta's influence has grown, so have concerns about its power and the impact it has on society. Many people worry about how much personal information Meta collects and how it's used. Questions about privacy, data security, and the potential for misuse have sparked heated debates around the world. In Europe, strict privacy rules like the General Data Protection Regulation, or GDPR, are designed to protect users' data. Companies like Meta must follow these laws to operate in the region, facing close scrutiny from regulators. When these rules are broken, the consequences can be huge, ranging from public backlash to massive financial penalties and legal battles that can reshape the industry. Recently, a Spanish court found Meta guilty of violating these privacy laws, marking a significant moment in the ongoing debate over digital rights and corporate responsibility. The court ordered Meta to pay a massive fine, one of the largest ever imposed for privacy violations in Europe. This decision sent shockwaves through the tech industry. This case highlights the growing tension between tech giants and individual rights, raising important questions about who controls our data and how it should be protected. In this chapter, we'll explore what happened in Spain, why it matters, and what it means for everyone who uses the internet, not just in Europe, but around the world. This isn't just about one company or one country. It's about the future of digital advertising, the protection of your personal data, and the rules that will shape the internet for years to come. The outcome of this case could change how all of us experience the internet, influencing how companies collect and use our information. It's a story about power, privacy, and the rules that shape our digital lives. A story that affects each and every one of us, whether we realize it or not. Let's dive into why this case is so important, and what it could mean for the future of technology, privacy, and our everyday lives. The story starts with a record-breaking fine in Spain, a decision that could set the stage for how tech companies are held accountable worldwide. On November 20, 2025, a Madrid court handed down a landmark decision ordering Meta to pay a staggering €479 million, roughly $550 million. This ruling sent shockwaves through the tech and media industries, highlighting the growing tension between global tech giants and local media organizations. Unlike most high-profile tech fines, this wasn't a penalty from the government or a regulatory body. Instead, the money is set to go directly to 87 Spanish media companies, including some of the country's most prominent newspapers and news agencies, who say they've been struggling to compete. These media companies argued that Meta's advertising practices were undermining their business models, making it harder for them to survive in the digital age. Their main complaint was that Meta's use of personal data for targeted advertising gave the company a powerful and unfair advantage in the digital ad market, drawing advertisers away from traditional media. The court agreed with the media companies, ruling that Meta's actions amounted to unfair competition and violated the principles of a level playing field. This is one of the largest fines ever imposed on a tech company in Europe, and it's being closely watched by regulators and industry leaders across the continent. The ruling sends a clear message. European courts are taking data privacy and fair competition more seriously than ever before, and they're willing to take bold action. It also demonstrates that media companies, even when facing tech giants with global reach, can successfully challenge practices they believe are unfair and win. The decision could set a precedent and inspire similar lawsuits in other European countries, potentially changing the landscape for tech and media across the region. But what exactly did Meta do to warrant such a massive penalty? The details of the case reveal much about the challenges of regulating digital advertising. Let's break down the court's reasoning and see why this case could have far-reaching consequences for the digital economy. This case is about more than just money. It's about setting new rules for how companies compete and use data in the digital age. The outcome could reshape the future of online advertising, forcing companies to rethink how they collect and use personal data. Here's why Meta was fined, and what it could mean for the future of tech and media in Europe. The Spanish court said Meta misused personal data for targeted advertising. Personal data includes your name, age, interests, everything you share or do on Facebook and Instagram. Meta built detailed profiles to target ads with incredible precision. Spanish media companies argued they couldn't compete with Meta's powerful ad system. The court called this unfair competition and said Meta broke European data privacy laws. For 5 years, Meta's ad business in Spain relied on this illegal use of data. The court ruled that Meta's practices directly harmed media companies' ability to earn revenue. All of Meta's ad profits in Spain from 2018 to 2023 were considered unfair gains. This ruling is about protecting fair competition and quality journalism. The heart of the issue is a European law called GDPR. Let's see what GDPR is and why it matters. Understanding GDPR is key to this story. GDPR stands for General Data Protection Regulation. It's a strict European law that protects people's personal data and gives them control over how it's used. Since 2018, any company serving EU residents must follow GDPR, no matter where it's based. Companies need a clear legal reason, usually your consent, to process your data. Consent must be freely given and easy to understand. GDPR also requires companies to be transparent about what data they collect and why. People have rights to see their data, to delete it, and to say no to its use. Fines for breaking GDPR can reach billions for big companies like Meta. GDPR has changed how companies worldwide handle privacy. The Spanish case shows GDPR's power to hold tech giants accountable. But how did Meta try to get around these rules? Let's look at what changed in 2018. When GDPR began in 2018, Meta changed its approach to data collection. Instead of asking for user consent, Meta claimed that using personal data for ads was necessary to provide its service. This meant, if you wanted to use Facebook or Instagram, you had to accept targeted ads. Privacy experts and regulators disagreed, saying advertising isn't essential to social networking. They argued users should have a real choice about how their data is used. The Spanish court ruled that Meta's argument was wrong. Personalized ads aren't a core part of social media service. Meta's use of contract necessity to justify data collection broke GDPR. From 2018 onward, Meta systematically violated privacy rules in Spain. This legal strategy set the stage for years of conflict. But in 2023, Meta made another big change. Here's what happened next. For 5 years, Meta used the contract necessity argument to collect data for ads in Europe. Under pressure from regulators, especially in Ireland, Meta finally changed course in August 2023. The company switched back to asking users for explicit consent before using their data for personalized ads. This was a major win for European privacy advocates. But the change didn't erase the past. Spanish media companies argued Meta's previous practices gave it an unfair advantage and hurt their business. The court agreed, saying all ad profits from 2018 to 2023 were earned through unfair competition. The huge fine is meant to compensate media companies for those years of lost revenue. Meta, however, isn't accepting the verdict quietly. Here's how the company responded. Meta strongly disagrees with the Spanish court's decision and plans to appeal. The company says the lawsuit lacks evidence and that its advertising helps businesses grow. Meta insists it follows all privacy laws and provides users with tools to control their data. The company argues the court ignored its efforts to be transparent and respect user privacy. The appeal process could take years, and the final outcome is uncertain. This legal battle highlights the clash between tech giants and European regulators. Meta wants the decision overturned, but the case has already sent a strong message. Meanwhile, Meta faces even more challenges across Europe. Let's look at the bigger picture. The pressure on Meta is only increasing. The Spanish fine is just one of many legal troubles Meta faces in Europe. Regulators have fined Meta hundreds of millions for privacy violations and anti-competitive practices. Other countries, like France, are pursuing similar cases against Meta. Media companies across Europe are uniting to challenge tech giants' dominance in digital advertising. Even the Spanish government is investigating Meta for alleged secret tracking of Android users. Meta is under constant scrutiny from courts, regulators, and governments. All of this could force Meta to change how it does business in Europe. This isn't just a story about Meta and Spanish newspapers. It's about your rights online, and how the digital world is changing for everyone. The decisions made in courtrooms today can affect the way you experience the internet tomorrow. Every time you use the internet, you share data about yourself, sometimes without even realizing it. From the websites you visit to the apps you use, your digital footprint grows with every click and swipe. The Spanish court's decision supports the idea that your data belongs to you, not just to tech companies. It's a reminder that individuals should have a say in how their information is collected, used, and shared. If more courts follow this path, you'll have more control and clearer choices about your privacy. You might see more transparent policies, easier to understand settings, and real options to protect your personal information. This could make the internet safer and fairer for everyone, especially for families and vulnerable users who rely on clear protections. The case also matters for the future of news. Journalism depends on a healthy digital ecosystem where news can reach people and be supported financially. Media companies need ad revenue to fund quality journalism. Without it, investigative reporting and local news coverage can disappear. If tech giants dominate advertising, it's harder for news organizations to survive. This can lead to fewer choices and less trustworthy information for everyone. This ruling gives some power back to the media, helping to level the playing field and support independent voices. It also shows that even the biggest companies must follow the rules. No one is above the law, and accountability is essential for a fair digital society. Laws like GDPR are meant to protect your rights and ensure fair competition. They set standards for privacy and encourage responsible innovation. The outcome of this case could shape the future of the internet for all of us, influencing how we connect, communicate, and access information. The debate over data, privacy, and power is just beginning. Your voice and your choices matter in this new era of the internet.